Good morning and welcome to another Monday morning message. I trust everyone had a great weekend. I know this weekend we were up here trying to get some really, much needed improvements done to the campus. Of course, folks had their pressure washers out. They had their backpack blowers, paint brushes, rakes, you name it, in an effort to really beautify the campus. So if you took part in that, I think I saw Miss Gallimore among some of our other folks that were out here. Joe Cochran is certainly always a welcome favorite here. The mayor was out changing security lights. Imagine that. But nevertheless, and then of course Miss Timothy had a retreat going for some of her babies, youngins, children, students. But at the end of the day, I think it was a great weekend for all, in spite of a little rain, which I'm sure some of your yards, if it's like mine, needs a little rain from time to time. But that being said, certainly I want everyone to know that we are here as an administrative staff doing everything we can in an effort to support you as we enter into our second full week. Certainly lesson plans and modules, we want to make sure that those are being entered into the Google Drive. If you have any questions, please get with Mr. Graham or Ms. Blair. Both are readily available to assist and try to help you in that process. Certainly student visibility, one of the things now that we're trying to do is make sure that students understand that now that our bell system is working properly, that there is a short ring, and that's a 60-second warning, or the warning bell, if you will, to get to class. And so if you can make sure by standing outside of your doors that students are going back and forth to where they're leaving from, and more importantly, where they need to get to, we certainly appreciate your efforts there in respect to making that happen. And also to and from the cafeteria, I think that our cafeteria waves are going really well in terms of getting students in and getting students out without a big delay, and also emphasize the importance of, if you do not mind, of cleaning up the area when you leave. Do not leave that trash and junk on the table, because another class certainly has to come right in and sit behind that class, obviously do not want to have to worry about managing, trying to clean up something that another student unfortunately has messed up. So please certainly communicate that to your students as well. This morning, roughly about the next 40 minutes, I will be meeting with the SILT team. If you're not familiar, it's a Continuous Improvement Leadership Team. And we are working on our ASIP. And of course, the ASIP is the Alabama Continuous Improvement Plan, which every school in the state is required to complete. So, not throwing a lot of acronyms at you, but what we want to be able to do is, after we complete the ASIP, is certainly turn that information back around in respective departments so you know exactly what the plan is, what it consists of, and more importantly, what's your role in helping devise those benchmarks and those goals departmentally, which of course your department heads will be meeting with you and turning that back around and being able to set goals for your individual grade level in addition to departments. So that being said, be looking for that on the agenda moving forward. Also, in terms of some housekeeping, make sure that the students are adhering to our cell phone policies. Again, I do not mind students using cell phones or any digital device, but make sure that they're doing in a way that is following protocol, your protocols and our district's protocol in respect to using it as an instructional device, not just willy-nilly we're on the phone and again searching social media, et cetera, et cetera. So certainly you want to make sure that your students understand digital citizenship and what that really looks like in real time. So very much important. Also, the punctuality, of course, cannot touch on that enough. Make sure that you're giving your students something when they first walk in the door that they're doing and that they're obviously responsible for. Bell ringer, quick essential ACT, excerpt, et cetera, something that they know when they walk into your class that it's not downtime. It is certainly, let's get on the board. Let's look for our learning targets. Learning targets should be posted in every classroom. Certainly, we want to know where the bullseye is obviously going to be located. So that being said, What does that mean? That means when I walk in, I need to know what it is I'm responsible for as a result of today's lesson, today's assignment. And we want to be providing quality, high quality assignments and lessons for our students. This business about, a bunch of worksheets, this business about putting on a PowerPoint with 3 or 4 bullets per slide, and kids just copying notes. Come on, folks. That's something that we expect to see in the 2nd and 3rd grade, not at the level we are. If we are going to move the needle and get our students scoring high on these high stakes tests, then certainly we have to mirror that in what we do in the classroom with the assignments, the quality of assignments that we're giving our students. That's the only way they're going to achieve at the level that we need them to. So we need you to do your due diligence and really stretch that productive struggle, if you will. So they're in your classrooms and they certainly understand where the benchmarks are and what we need to do to help them to meet those needs. Or should I say, meet their needs and more importantly, help them to obtain those goals. We're going to have class meetings today. Certainly want to get through starting with the seniors right after first block gets started and we get the morning announcements out. We want to meet with the seniors. We're going to move to the gymnasium, the main gym, only because certainly the lights are still out in the auditorium and we do not want to take them down there with no lights, obviously. So that being said, if you will, as I made mention, to escort your students, if it's a mixed class, go ahead and send them, obviously minus you. But if you are teaching a all senior class, then we would ask that you escort your students down to the main gym when, in fact, your class is called. That being said, also this upcoming Wednesday is going to be a fire drill, so certainly want to apprise you of that and let you know that you want to make sure that you're following all precautions. If you do not know the procedures for a fire drill, please get with Mr. Graham as quickly as possible today or tomorrow so you'll know exactly where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to have in respect to that all-important fire drill. Also, I do want to let you know that our I'm looking on the calendar behind me. Please forgive me. Our JCAP. So our JCAP information has been sent out by the counselors. So please surprise yourself with that. It's critically important that you really emphasize exactly the material that you receive, that you emphasize that to the students and how important it really is to get this information, and that is your group. You are their mentor, and you're serving as their mentor, and so therefore it's important that you communicate exactly what information is being sent by the counselors to them so they'll understand exactly what it is that they're responsible for in terms of owning their own learning, owning their own high school tenure. Well, what does that mean? It means that from their freshman year to their senior year, that hopefully that they have created, or you have created in them, advocacy wherein they can self-advocate, and then they know that you are advocating for them because you want to see the absolute very best in them and that you're helping them to get that plan of action so when they do in fact graduate that they're heading into the workforce credential, or they're headed into the workforce able to accomplish. They have a certain skill set and they can accomplish whatever task that have been or that will be given to them. They are ready for college, that they are ready for technical and trade school, so they are ready to enter into the military or whatever endeavor that they've chosen. We want to make sure that we've done our due diligence in providing that, and all of that helps through the JCAP process. I know I've shot a lot at you. I am going to conclude by saying that, again, we're here for you as an administrative team. If there's any questions that you may have, do not hesitate to reach out to us. Knock on the door. That's why I call it an open door policy. I have 3 doors, so you can knock on either one of them, and we'll get you in the door and sit down and see what we can do to help. That being said, here at Vincent Valley, as always, we will continue to promote achievement, respect, and success. Do have a blessed week.